What's going on, everyone? So, earlier today, the Los Angeles Lakers ended up not landing Bradley Beal, which is a bummer. I really wanted Bradley Beal. I don't think Bradley Beal was the exact player we needed or anything like that. I don't think, I even talked about, how much more does Bradley Beal raise the ceiling for the Lakers compared to what it already is? The Lakers don't really need more offense. They need defense, right? But I would have loved to have Bradley Beal because of the cost, right? It's so low risk, high reward. He's a guy that still, even through as bad as he was in many people's eyes, still was a 17-4-4 guy on 50% from the floor, would have been the best off-ball player as far as guard position goes on the Lakers, right? It made sense. It was worth the risk in my opinion. But I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think it's oh no, now the Lakers are no. I even said and made a video about hey, does Bradley Beal make us a contender? Because there was this word and narrative, and Fox Sports 1 is talking about oh, give them the championship now if they get Bradley Beal. And I was I don't really think that. It definitely makes them better, but I don't know if it makes them the clear-cut best team in all of basketball. I just think again it would have raised the ceiling, but we'll see, right? I mean, we'll see what it does with the Clippers. There's a chance where it might work out and they might be brilliant, right? But there's also a chance that, again, they have zero defense in the backcourt, just like the Lakers, right? And the Clippers, one of those teams, say what you want about them, every year for the last 15 years, they've been dating back to Lob City, have been the favorites, have been the team that was going to do it every year. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, right? Oh, now they get James Harden. Now they, lose in the first or second round every single year. The Lakers, in the last 15 years, since they've had Lob City and then the Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, have more NBA championships, NBA finals appearances, and conference finals appearances. So say what you want about the Lakers, right? They still, even though they've been terrible, they've still been better than the Clippers over the years. So, and what I always think is funny is people's excuses are oh, well, they've owned the Lakers in the regular season. Keep stacking those regular season accolades, guys. Great job. Must be great being a Clippers fan and being able to celebrate regular season wins, right? Don't worry. We'll just keep stacking and celebrating our championship and our conference banners, right? You just keep doing regular season things. But I digress, right? Just wanted to kind of get that out because, you already seen all the, you didn't get Bradley Beal, we got Bradley Beal. Relax. I even said for the Lakers, I didn't know how good Bradley Beal would be. I don't know how good he's going to be with the Clippers, right? Has an opportunity to be brilliant. We'll see. Time will tell, right? But how does James Harden, Bradley Beal, and Kawhi Leonard play? James Harden, right? Yeah, he's the playmaker, but he's going to be the guy that has the ball in his hands the whole time. And Kawhi Leonard is not known as this playmaking forward, this swing man, this point forward type. He's more of a black hole. He gets the ball, it's going up. So we'll see how that works and how that plays out. But I digress. Point is, what's next for the Lakers, right? Lakers missed out on Bradley Beal, which I think we all expected. You had the Clippers, right? And you had the Milwaukee Bucks. You had these two teams that you knew made more sense. I think the team that made the most sense was Milwaukee because I think Milwaukee posed the best opportunity for him to just go be him, right? You want to get back to being that 23-5-5 guy, go back to Milwaukee. Go to Milwaukee because you can slot right in to that primary scoring role alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? Where, the Clippers probably going to be the third guy. So we'll see how that plays out. But for the Lakers, missed out on Bradley Beal. I don't think it's the end of the world. Where do you pivot now to? And I think nothing's changed, right? I think you still pivot to DeAnthony Melton, right? Josh Okogie, if Marcus Smart ends up getting bought out, Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdon, all the names that we've been hearing from the beginning. I don't think that this has changed anything. However, I am disappointed because I really wanted the Lakers to go and make a play for those guys already. I made a video about this where I was I know the Lakers and everyone's kind of waiting around for Bradley Beal, but even if Bradley Beal does want to come to the Lakers, I would have still went and got a DeAnthony Melton, Malcolm Brogdon, somebody like that, because at worst, right, you land DeAnthony Melton and now Bradley Beal wants to come and now you have DeAnthony Melton and Bradley Beal. That's not a bad position to be in, right? You're in great shape. Like, let's go. You got, I mean, they could play both guard positions. You could have DeAnthony Melton be your guy off the bench at the point guard in the backup role, because you're always going to have LeBron, Luka, or Austin Reeves on the court at all times, and then have Bradley Beal be your backup 2 guard, right? It would have worked other way. Same thing with Malcolm Brogdon, same thing with any of these guys. Obviously, at the time I made that video, we didn't know about Josh Okogie, but the point was, like, go get one of those guys now, and then if Bradley Beal wants to come, you figure that out after, rather than, oh, let's wait for Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal doesn't come, and now you and all the other teams that were trying to go get Bradley Beal are all now going to go scatter out and try to go get those other guys. Right? So it makes things more difficult for the Lakers, unless one of those guys just want to be a Laker more than anyone else. Right? But that's the problem, is that, now teams like the Milwaukee Bucks, the Golden State Warriors, the Los Angeles Lakers, right? Like, all these teams are going to now pivot and shift into, hey, let's go try to go get a DeAnthony Melton. Let's go try to get a Malcolm Brogdon. Let's go try to get these guys, right? DeAnthony Melton's already linked to, the Golden State Warriors. Well, if Golden State's waiting for Bradley Beal and you're with the Lakers, why not go to him and be like, hey, dude, right? Like, you could wait around, but what happens if they get him, right? And we've already moved on and signed somebody else. Come sign with us now. Let's get you on board now. And then they can figure it out. That's on them. They snooze, they lose type thing. But the Lakers didn't do that, right? So to me, I think you pivot to, again, trying to go get that point of attack, versatile, ideally a guy that can defend 1 through 3, right? But if you can get I wouldn't hate if you got multiple, right? I wouldn't, like, if you told me Lakers got DeAnthony Melton and Joshua Okogie, perfect. Right? Like, I'm totally fine with that. Get me that point of attack, kind of 3-and-D guard, and then you get that defensive, versatile, like 6'4", 6'5", with a 7-foot wingspan, Okogie, that basically gives you the Jared Vanderbilt at the guard position. Right? That's what the Lakers need. Lakers' biggest issue right now is the defensive side of things. You look at the Lakers roster, offensively, they're probably going to be the best team in all of basketball offensively. Probably going to put up, 130 points a night. They're probably going to be insane offensively. And during the regular season, I don't think that's an issue. You win a lot of games just outscoring teams. I mean, Sacramento did it a couple seasons ago, where they were just like the best offense in all of basketball by like a large margin. They just were terrible defensively, but they were able to just kind of run through everybody. I mean, even Denver won a championship being 15th in defense during the regular season and second worst in all of the playoffs, and still steamrolled everybody to the NBA Finals. So you can win with offensive alone. We've seen it happen, but it's just a lot more difficult, a lot more challenging, right? Because I don't care how good you are offensively, there's always going to be those points, those games, those stretches where the well just dries up. I talked about this every year with when Rui Hachimura was injected in the starting unit and we moved away from Jared Vanderbilt and stuff. And I said, that's great, that's fine, right? There was that, when we first did it, Lakers were like 8-0 with Rui Hachimura, but I was like, hey, that's great, I love that we're 8-0, but what happens come playoff time if we struggle to score? Right? How are we going to get stops? And then you saw the Lakers run into Denver, and when we're cooking, we're up 20. Right? When the Lakers are scoring and putting the ball in the hoop, Lakers look like they're about to sweep Denver. And then every game they went and they hit that roadblock, they hit that moment, and Denver came punching back, and we weren't able to stop them. And all of a sudden we look up and we're losing by 10, and the game's over. And the next thing you know, it's a sweep, gentleman's sweep. Like, that's the problem. That's where the issue lies. So to me, I look at, I do believe, now, it's very possible the Lakers are just that good offensively that they won't have those issues, but I'd like better balance. Ideally, if you can get two-way guys like a DeAnthony Melton, right, is a guy that can knock down the three ball as well as defend. But if we have to settle for Joshua Okogie, right, then fine, so be it. Right? Like, Lakers just need to address that defense at the point of attack. They need that menace out on the perimeter, right? It'd be beautiful to have like Luka, DeAndre Ayton, and LeBron James out there with Joshua Okogie and Jared Vanderbilt, right? You're going to be able to run enough offensive actions, sets, right? Jared Vanderbilt's been working on his three-point shot all offseason. Hopefully that continues and you actually see that translate to the NBA. Joshua Okogie with Phoenix shot 38% from three-point range and is now going to slot along, well, if he signs, let me make sure I'm phrasing that correctly. if he were to sign with the Lakers, he'd be slotted alongside Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. Again, all of a sudden you got like the quality of looks for those guys are going to be otherworldly, right? So I'm not even saying they have to knock down at an efficient, like be 40% from 3-point range. I don't even care if they're 38% from 3-point range. Can you just be league average? Right, league average last year was like, I think it was like 36 and some change off the top of my head. Can you just be like 36% from 3-point range? Like, if you could do that, watch out. Because now the Lakers would have two, like, elite defensive players out on the perimeter that could defend 1 through 4 on many occasions, and then also have the offensive versatility amongst everything else to have an impact enough to go win the games. Right, so that's my hope. That's what I'm looking for. And we'll see. Time will tell. Right, but again, look, congrats to the Clippers for landing Bradley Beal, right? There's other options out there. I don't think it's an end of the world. And I think that there's a lot of, like, Joshua Okogie, like, if you're just talking surface, like, what do the Lakers need more? Bradley Beal or Joshua Okogie? It's Joshua Okogie. Right? Now, again, I would have loved to have both. I would have loved to land a Bradley Beal and then go get a Joshua Okogie. But the Bradley Beal situation was nothing more than just a low risk, high reward. You're getting a $30 million a year guy for $5 million. Why wouldn't you do that? Right? But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. Helps me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.